Every single day, thousands of identical white electric vehicles roll off assembly lines in China and directly onto massive transport ships bound for foreign ports. The speed of this expansion is staggering. In Thailand, BYD seized 40% of the entire electric vehicle market in just 18 months, systematically dismantling a regional stronghold that Japanese automakers had held for 4 decades. These vehicles are rapidly becoming a fixture of daily life in dense urban centers, as shown here in this high-traffic Thai streak. By late 2023, BYD had achieved what many industry analysts thought was impossible. They surpassed Tesla to become the largest electric vehicle manufacturer on Earth by pure volume. On the surface, BYD represents a masterclass in logistics and engineering, a manufacturing giant moving so quickly that legacy Western automakers simply couldn't mount a defense in time. But the first quarter of 2026 revealed a severe fracture in that narrative. Despite setting new records for deliveries, BYD's annual net profit suddenly dropped by 19%. Investors panicked. In a matter of days, the resulting sell-off wiped out $60 billion in market value. This chart shows exactly why the market reacted so violently. We see a rising blue line tracking the massive growth in global deliveries, but it is crossed by a sharply diving red line representing the net profit margin per vehicle. They are building more cars than ever and making less money on every single one. To maintain this production velocity, the company is leaning heavily on its suppliers. Their balance sheet now hides 165 billion yuan in other payables, essentially using deferred payments to part suppliers as a massive off-the-books credit line. It creates a volatile tension at the core of their business. The largest EV maker on the planet is expanding at a speed it can barely afford to finance. To understand how BYD got to this point, we have to look at how they started. Their early dominance was the result of direct state intervention, rather than purely market-driven competition. The system was highly susceptible to abuse. Take the 2016 Nanjing scandal, where a 2.3 billion yuan government investigation uncovered dealerships claiming massive state subsidies for hundreds of electric buses and taxis that were never actually put on the road. Today, that lucrative state safety net is being pulled away. Beijing is actively phasing out the domestic purchase subsidies and tax exemptions that artificially propped up the industry for a decade. Stripped of that support, BYD's chairman declared the domestic market had entered a brutal knockout stage. The company initiated a vicious price war, aggressively slashing sticker prices to starve out smaller competitors, even though it destroyed their own profit margins in the process. This aggressive international push acts as an escape valve, a move to offload inventory as the domestic market becomes increasingly unprofitable. That extreme price slashing carries a physical cost. Early domestic buyers watched their vehicles' resale value drop by 50% almost overnight as BYD flooded the market with cheaper variants. And the aggressive cost-cutting is highly visible inside the cabin. Chinese consumer portals are currently overwhelmed with owner complaints, documenting hollow plastic door panels, rattling interior trim, and exposed foam insulation. But the issues go far beyond cheap plastics. BYD heavily markets its proprietary blade battery as an engineering marvel, practically immune to catching fire. The statistics tell a different story. Recent data from China's Fire and Rescue Department records an average of 7 electric vehicle fires every single day, with BYD models frequently identified in the wreckage. By October 2025, the problem was impossible to ignore. BYD initiated a massive recall of over 115,000 vehicles, pointing to improperly installed sealing gaskets around the battery pack. If a driver takes one of these cars through deep water, moisture can breach the compromised gasket, short-circuit the pure electric drive mode, and potentially trigger the exact thermal runaway the battery was built to prevent. Western regulators are finding their own flaws. When Europe's leading safety assessment program, Euro NCAP, tested BYD's driver assistance software, they handed the system a rare not recommended grading for failing to properly respond to obstacles. The low pricing of BYD's vehicles was achieved by offloading engineering and safety risks onto the consumer. Faced with quality scandals and saturated demand at home, BYD is forced to export its massive overcapacity to foreign buyers. This flowchart outlines the European Union's recent investigation. It tracks the legal process from the initial complaint to the notice of initiation, determining if manufacturers utilized unfair state subsidies. Investigators concluded the market was distorted, resulting in definitive countervailing duties targeting BYD's imports. The global landscape is hardening. International markets that once welcomed cheap green technology are now actively erecting tariff walls to protect their own industries. BYD is now fighting a three-front war: domestic saturation, escalating quality defects, and international trade hostility. We are watching a real-time stress test of an entire economic model. We are about to find out if state-backed capitalism can permanently capture a global industry through sheer volume and subsidized pricing. Millions of people bought into the dream of an affordable electric future, but we are only just beginning to calculate the true cost hidden beneath the sticker price.